one thing that just has stuck in Marty Bass's head throughout this career.
We had an old cameraman named Norm Vogel. What do you know what to take a picture of? And he said it's simple. If I look twice, I shoot it. So if I'm rolling around Baltimore and I look twice, well, there's a catching bass or a Mondo bass.
It's a story worth telling.
Or WJZ at 9, Where's Marty? It's the story worth telling. Something that will always stick out in my mind. I got to see the handwritten by Francis Scott Key national anthem. It was Flag Day, I think, a couple years ago. So we just cold called Maryland Center for History and Culture. Hey, you got anything of Francis Scott Key? Maybe his briefcase, his hat. They said we have the original national Star Spangled Banner.
Yeah,
so
that'll do it.
So wait a minute, what? Oh, say, can you see? You can read that entire first paragraph, and it's like, okay, there's where we pause and go, oh!
Well, we've been enjoying those Marty moments all month. It's been the month of Marty, and today is Marty's final Where's Marty before he retires.
And we have Huber from 100.7 The Bay joining us in studio, who just saw that clip. He's here with us, and we have Marty, who is back with the Star Spangled Banner with the Where's Marty crew. Marty?
Yeah, as a matter of fact, by the way, I want to shout out Steve Huber. It was a great time doing the podcast. Really enjoyed it. I guess you can find it online somewhere. And, yeah, I'm with the whole crew. I'm with K2 and the dispatcher. you know he's going to get back to the newsroom and everybody's going to...
I do. We'll talk.
I'll get him back. Don't worry.
You'll get him back.
Payback will come.
So I just want to get your impressions on this. By special request, I asked the Maryland Center for History and Culture, a lot of folks behind the camera, could you break it out for us one more time? Because as far as I'm concerned, this is one of the most valuable pieces of paper in the history of America.
Yeah, well, I mean, we bring stories to life on Where's Marty. That's like our goal. But when you get to bring history and something that brings Baltimore to our national stage and really get to show people what we're about, but what this town's about and what this amazing place we're in is all about. It's something that really helps, I think, the community, and that was always our goal of Where's Marty. So it's amazing to be here in person and see it for once instead of just back in the studio with everyone and get to join you guys and share in that excitement.
When you walked in, I said, take a look. What was your first impression?
You feel the presence of the history. It's one thing to see it, to make a phone call, to see it on a website, but to see the actual handwriting here, to see it in this case, see the way it's preserved, it really brings the emotion of the document.
The emotion of the document. Now, yesterday you and I were talking off the air.
Yes.
And you said you could imagine sitting there in a pub when Key said, give me a pencil.
When you look at it, I mean, you see it looks like the beverage kicked in, if you will. And he had a moment that was like, you know what, I have something on my mind. Let me write it down. And when you look at it, you just see it. It puts you in a place as though you're sitting beside him or near him when he's writing it down.
And I do agree with you. You could run behind the camera and get us some tight shots?
I got you.
We appreciate it.
Excuse me now.
The dispatcher.
The dispatcher. Keep that between me and you.
Mike O'Connor, come on in. Library associate here at the Maryland Center for History and Culture. You've done about 12 of these with us.
Something like that.
We figured we'd done 12 Where's Marty's at one of the coolest places in town, Maryland Center for History and Culture. We'll talk about the website and how you can come down and enjoy this place a little bit later. What are your thoughts on this?
This is an incredibly important document. It's one of the crown jewels of our organization in that it is entirely unique. It's an original document in Francis Scott Key's original handwriting, and it's of both local importance and national importance as well.
Oh, there's no question about it. When you look at this, what gets your attention about this?
What strikes me as interesting is, one, most American citizens know the very first stanza, the first 4 lines here, but in fact there are 4 stanzas. Francis Scott Key writes this allegedly at the Indian Queen Tavern here in Baltimore. One of the other things that's striking is that as he's writing, you'll notice there are self-edits that he's making. He's crossed some words out, and I would like to theorize it's because he's trying to come up with the perfect phrase to summarize everything that he's just seen at Fort McHenry.
Do we know where that tavern was?
I don't have the exact address, but we do know it's in Baltimore. It was in Baltimore.
See, I got to wonder if it may not have been around Fells Point. Fells Point or Fells Point and maybe Water Street, because Water Street downtown was the original port. High tide, they'd bring ships in. And Fells Point was its own little city before everything got incorporated. What was the name of that tavern again?
The Indian Queen Tavern.
The Indian Queen Tavern. Listen, we're going to have more coming up shortly from Maryland Center for History and Culture. Micah, it's always good to have you join us. We've done some great TV. Matt, it's great having you out here with us.
Thank you for having me out.
The dispatcher.
Yeah, right.
You upstaged Francis Scott Key's Star Spangled Banner. We're going to go ahead and throw it back to TV Hill.
Okay, Marty, thank you. And of course, as you mentioned, we are back now with Marty and crew, K2 and Matt out there, and guests. You know, Marty, one thing Steve Huber said that you couldn't respond to at the time was that adapting and evolving through this business from the time you have been here in 48 and a half years to now is no small feat. It's not easy to do, but you have done it. You're a survivor, my friend.
Well, we all change and adapt. Tim, how many years you've been there? 31 years now?
30
years, 3 decades. How many changes have you seen?
Oh,
I mean, it's part of the business. And now we're doing the virtual reality studio, which is the future of television. And I'm incredibly proud that WJZ has led the way in Baltimore to what is the absolute future of linear TV, what this is called, streaming and digital. It continues, to evolve and change. Don Scott had a great line once. And by the way, we're going to have a Don sighting tomorrow. He said, what's great about this business is that he learns something new every day. And I agree 1,000%. On a technical level, on a personal level, on a society level, you learn something different every day. So if you keep your head on a swivel, it's not hard to change and adapt.
Yeah.
It really isn't. And by the way, Tim, I need to point something out just real quick. Happy birthday to you. Your birthday's coming.
Thank you, sir. I appreciate it. Thank you so much.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Young Tim Williams. Not so young anymore, but still young in my mind. There you go. I've always called Tim Young Tim. All right, let's jump into this real quick. KT's back behind the camera, Matt Wilson here. And Matt just said something that shows the irreverence of the Where's Marty staff. We put these out and tell them what you just said.
I said on this episode of Pawn Stars.
You really get the behind-the-scenes look. Catherine Arthur joins us. Micah Connor is with us. Chief Curator of Maryland Center for History and Culture. You said, we've got something cool we can show you if you want to see it. And want to see it, not sue it, if you want to see it. And we said, yes, tell them what that is.
So this is the Mary Catherine Goddard Declaration of Independence. So it is the only copy of the Declaration that includes a woman's name on it, because Mary Catherine Goddard included her own name at the very bottom of this document. But it's the first time that people knew who signed the Declaration.
So what it boiled down to is, Continental Congress said, we need to get this information out to the country. We need to make prints of this, put them on walls, barns, trees, wherever, so people could see what was written and who signed it. And it was printed by a woman in Baltimore who put her name on the bottom of it.
Exactly. So really an incredible document in our collection. Exceedingly rare, probably only intended to be about 13, 15 copies to go out to each of the new United States of America. So
it's absolutely unbelievable. Can you imagine when she put her name on there and went, yeah, take that, guys.
Exactly.
Exactly. But now we need to talk about this, because this starts getting crazy.
So just while we're getting caught up in the fervor of America 250, this is sort of what was happening, for America 50. So John Quincy Adams was Secretary of State. The original inked copy of the Declaration of Independence was deteriorated. It was fading from being on display. And so he went about deciding John Quincy Adams asked him to make an engraved copy of it. So that's what he did. The method was to wet the original inked copy, to transfer the image to a copper plate, engraved, and then printed on vellum.
That's it right there.
Yes.
That's the original.
There were 200 copies originally, only about 50 are known today. This one is particularly special because it was one of two. The only person to receive 2 of this declaration was Charles Carroll of Carrollton, one of 4 Maryland signers of the Declaration.
Incredible. So what you're telling us is, Micah, this is unbelievable. Matt, this is unbelievable too. When they told us the story off camera, we couldn't believe it. They took the Declaration of Independence, soaked it, put it on a copper plate, rolled it, made a copy, and made that.
Exactly. So what's also...
What could have gone wrong?
Yes, so this is really sort of the copy. The Stone Declaration is the one that most students, it's illustrated in the most textbooks, all of that sort of thing. But really incredible to have Charles Carroll of Carrollton's own copy, and that he had two. The last one came up a couple years ago. It was found in an attic in Scotland. But this was one of the first items to come into our collection in 1844, the year we were founded.
Incredible. Absolutely. How cool is this place?
It's the coolest place in Baltimore. It really is.
That's why we've been here 12 times. Once again, thank you so much, Catherine.
Thank you so much,
Micah, thank you so much. Staff, thank you so much. I got to show something. I got the greatest going away present ever. Help me hold that. Because I wanted to see the Star Spangled Banner. They made me a print of that to take home. I'm emotional about this. That's really cool. Glad you were here with us.
Thank you, Marty.
Coming up next on Pawn Stars. The dispatcher did a good job, didn't he, Kay? He did. Back to TV Hill.
Oh.
And that's incredible.
That's special. That is really neat, Marty. Thank you so much. And thank you for all your Where's Marty's. I'm going to miss it.
As an 832 now?
Potentially 832, but counting vacations and time off for a shoulder surgery and a hip replacement, I think I've done about 744 of these. And you know what? It's been my pleasure.
Well, assignment understood, Mr. Marty, and congratulations.
Huge
We are
congrats.
proud of you, bud.
Absolutely. Thank you so much for everything you've done.